Well, hello guys. It's 12:05 in the AM, the morning of the Kansas Teal opener. We're up so early because we're going to a very heavily hunted marsh. It gets a lot of pressure. I fully expect there to be up around 100-ish guns within about a 5 or 6 mile area on this thing. So we've got to get out there early, claim our spot, and then I've got some little smokies to pass the time while we're taking a nap there on the dike until shooting time. So let's go get it. Hey guys, well, I'm out here at the marsh and you can see it's 12:09, and check this out. A lot of the brake lights just went off, but there's a traffic jam out here. There's already headlamps. I see them out in the marsh there. You can see some of the vehicles with the reflectors there, but there's probably 10 trucks here already. It's midnight. Now some of these guys looks like they're gonna camp out in their trucks, but there are headlamps out in the marsh, and they're probably a mile to a mile and a half deep out there. So there's a lot of people already, midnight. Hup, hup. Hey guys, well, it's the next day. Finally healed up from my 39 hours with no sleep, so figured I'd do a recap. My path to opening day at Teal was this. I went out and scouted a big public marsh. These things are huge too. They're several miles across and wide, that kind of thing. I spent a lot of time on Cheyenne Bottoms and Quivira. This was not either one of those. A couple really good facts about these big marshes. First, there's huge numbers of ducks to mess with, so that's why I choose to go to these things. But along with that also comes very motivated and skilled duck hunters. These are some of the best waterfowlers in Kansas. Hunt these 3 big major marshes. So the level of competition is very high. You've got to give these things a full send if you go to these places, or you're gonna be off in the ditch. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to get there early. What I did was I went out right at midnight, as I shown earlier in the video. I was there at 12 o'clock. Normally what happens are some of these guys will show up around 12 o'clock, that kind of thing. Everybody kind of talks, hangs out in the trucks, and then there can be a race about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, that didn't happen this time. There's some guys raised the bar a little higher. So when I got there at midnight, there were approximately 50-ish headlamps already dancing around out there in the marsh. So they were already set at midnight when I got there. So my strategy to get to my spot first fell short. I'll recalibrate that for next time. But hey, hats off to the guys that did that. That helps raise the bar for all the rest of us. That's another reason that I like hunting these big public marshes. It forces you to raise the bar. You have to get your game higher than most other people, or you're just not gonna connect. So my opening day at Teal season went like this. I had a few fails. My big decoy bag from the 80s finally split out, so that made the travel in and out a little more difficult. I'll get a new one of those today. And then, like I said, I didn't get there early enough. I was about 2 to 3 hours late. This is how this thing went. Some of those guys actually set their decoys at 9 o'clock at night the previous day to opener. So I'm gonna have to raise the bar if I want to get my spot. I'm gonna have to get there like 6 o'clock the night previous. Also, there was a group of, and this is rumor, I didn't see it, and I didn't hear much shooting from this spot, but there's another place fairly close to this big marsh area that I was hunting that a lot of people like. Last year it was a hot spot, not so much this year. I didn't hear much shooting from over there. Those guys arrived at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the day before the opener. So if a person wants to get those spots, that's where the bar is. A person is going to have to do that. Now, if a person doesn't have the time available, there were also some folks that went old school. They showed up at 5 o'clock and just took the leftover water. Some of these guys did pretty good. In fact, on the way in, I kind of told some later arrival folks where some good water was on this thing. They took the advice and went back there, and they limited it out in about an hour. So if I could have made it out there, if my decoy bag wouldn't have split, if I wouldn't have had some equipment issues, that would have been pretty good. But as you can see, I ended up not so good. I ended up with three teal. One of them was a water swat. He landed right by my spinner. If I'd scared him up, I would have shot the spinner. So I just water swatted him. Simple as that. So this next week makes it a lot easier. After work, I can hit one of these big marshes. The pressure is less than. So stay tuned. I'm going to have a rematch with these teal this next week. So stay tuned for that. Rematch coming. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, more content. This rematch is coming soon. See ya.